a game of basketball. For most kids, this is something that doesn't require much thought. Running, laughing, interacting with friends. It seems very simple. But for others, it's far more complicated than it sounds. The Minnesota Autism Center is a nonprofit organization that provides therapeutic support for children, adolescents, and families affected by autism spectrum disorders. In the MAC schools, therapy centers, and home programs across the state, highly trained professionals provide therapy on an individualized basis with the goal of reducing and sometimes eliminating the signs and symptoms of autism.
For us, autism really closed in on us and our whole family. Like there was one summer where I didn't leave the house.
It felt like a death sentence. They used to run and cry, and basically we were hiding inside our home.
When it comes to working with children, some of the challenges are every kid's different. So it's all about making sure that I help each child with their individual needs and making sure that the programming that we're doing is going to benefit them as best as possible.
And we've really developed curriculum and therapists that can come in and really hone in into what are the needs of our families, what is the need of that individual child, and how can we take our services and wrap that into just creating, lifetime learners, not lifetime clients.
For nearly 2 decades, the Minnesota Autism Center has been committed to providing cutting-edge behavioral interventions. The Minnesota Autism Center's groundbreaking approach to therapy, along with other critical services such as diagnosis and assessment, speech and occupational therapy services, and family support groups, are making positive differences in the lives of families affected by autism.
We came to U.S. for an early intervention, and they both been diagnosed with autism, and we started to get educated a little bit about what autism means and how to deal with autism, and that the fact that they have it is not going to change anything.
MAC has done a tremendous job in changing my life. Having 4 autistic boys, no idea where to go, how to cope up with their challenges. When I first started with MAC, it was just a dream.
This is the MAC School. The goal is to enrich the lives of students on the autism spectrum who possess a wide range of abilities and to foster independence, self-awareness, social consciousness, behavioral management, and academic success.
You have your normal schools where, kids with ASD are often tucked away in a corner somewhere and honestly forgotten about. Here we bring kids into what's a mock mainstream. We're giving them the ability to access academics and things that they would never get to do in a typical school.
We're really able to provide a safe environment for them to practice skills that they might not have been able to practice in the past. They're with peers, but yet they're one-on-one with a therapist.
When your child is struggling, the only thing that matters is results.
The best part about thinking about success stories for the kids that I know is that I could think of a story for every
child.
I asked my 12-year-old son, has Mac helped your brother? He said, well, Mom, just look at where he came from and where he is now.
I never thought in a million years that Max would ever be able to go to school and take a spelling test and have homework.
And he's doing them, and it makes me so proud.
And the boys' progress, is unbelievable.
The absolute best part of the last year and a half is the fact that we have documented proof that Padraig is learning and growing and advancing.
This program is giving us hope that there is a future for these kids.
I never would have dreamed that Mark would be doing the things that he is doing now, if I would have thought about his life 5 years ago.
But I think he's a happier kid now.
And now, when they were going 6 months, they started calling me Mom. And that was the happiest day on my life.
Today is basketball day at Mac. It's just a game. But today, for these kids, their families, and volunteers, it is so much more. For these kids, many of whom at one time had difficulty making eye contact with others, the ability to pass the ball to a teammate and interact with other players is something quite extraordinary. In the game of life, every child deserves the chance to play.